Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Day 9.
I'm Husky.
And this is the After Hours Gaming League Grand Final pre-show. The third, fourth place match between Google and Amazon.
Now, Sean, did you want to mention something that may or may have happened?
Well, interestingly, we got the chance to go into the future and watch match 3 second.
Yeah.
And now we're going to come back and watch match number 2 third. So some of you may have been able to intuit the results after 3 games, but for those of you who can't, we're not going to help you. We're just going to go into this next game.
Awesome. So, Sean, I'm wondering, has anyone here, make some noise if you have used Google or you like Google?
And you know what? If you're a fan of Amazon or use Amazon, let's hear it for them. I don't know how many people here are like me that I order like 100% of everything I ever use from Amazon. Like,
and you find Amazon by using Google?
I know. I like get my shampoo off Amazon. I just got a bunch of socks off Amazon. So thank you very much for helping me be beautiful and clothed for today's final. So the 2 players playing is going to be Nexus 1 from Team Google and his opponent Cicero from Team Amazon.
Cicero, you know, every time you say Nexus 1, I think you're going to say Nexus Wars. I don't know if you play that, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at Cicero right there. He is super happy, but Sean, do you think he's going to be happy if he loses this game?
Well, almost certainly not, I would imagine. I've never lost a game of StarCraft. I'm like, yes, I did it. Unless it's against Slayer's Boxer, and that would be the best day of my life.
Best moment of your life, absolutely.
If I could, I'd put that replay on my fridge for my children to look at. But his opponent is going to be Nexus 1 from Team Google, looking extremely intense. And keep in mind, he loves hiding command centers.
That is true. I am actually intimidated by that photo. Not usually am I intimidated by a photo, but man, he looks like he is ready to break some nerd skulls here. So, are we ready for this, Sean, or what?
Are you guys ready for battle between Amazon and Google? Then let us begin as we jump directly into game number 3-2.
3-2.
Of Amazon versus Google. And Cicero saying, more relaxing without spectators. LOL, Cicero, welcome to the After Hours Gaming League Finals, where everyone is here with great thunder sticks making noise. In the bottom left, we have the Terran from Team Google. It is Nexus 1.
And in the bottom right side, Sean, is going to be our orange Protoss. I almost said pink there. He's not pink, though. And it is going to be Cicero.
Not that there's anything wrong with people who are pink-orange colorblind. We see Cicero now warping in a pylon at the front of his base where Nexus 1 is in that bottom left corner, continuing to build SCVs and keeping that very tight-to-home supply depot placement. Doesn't want that SCV to go off to college anywhere. Just stay local and build that depot. And on this map, you know, I'm really, really loving the Terrans who go for really huge, aggressive ground armies. You know, drop-based play. I mean, that's great. I mean, if you're select, you want to win games with it, that's fine.
Right.
But I personally love the amount of expansions you can gobble up as Terran.
Oh, absolutely, especially on the map, Tal'Darim Altar. There are so many expansions, and the way the map's kind of broken down is each corner of the map is going to have 4 mineable locations. So if you can secure your own, then you can easily move out, and then again, you're going to get 4 more bases there. So you're mentioning hidden command centers on this map. I mean, I'm horrible at math. How many expansions can he hide it at, Sean?
I mean, at least 25,000.
Yeah, at least 25,000, which is perfect. And you can also see how long it takes to scout those out. That poor probe has only scouted 1 location so far. This map is absolutely huge. And our Protoss player, Sean, he's going to do it. He's going to get a Nexus before a gateway. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, my thoughts on that are that this kicks ass, Husky. He's going to be gobbling up as much resources as he can, the Amazoni Tassi, taking himself an oh-so-effective, ultra-fast expansion. And the question is, how will Nexus 1 open on this map? Players love the fast early expo, so it's very, very smart for Cicero to expect his opponent to do something in kind. But if Nexus 1 does a gigantic all-in, that could spell doom for the Amazoni Tassi.
It absolutely could, Sean, and especially if he was going for an early Reaper or early Marauder push or something like that, it would be difficult to hold off. But for now, this probe is finally going to find the base base. He could have slipped in there, decides to turn around and go home. He already knows where his opponent's at. He didn't see any sort of crazy play there. And honestly, there's not going to be anything like that headed his way anytime soon. We're just now seeing an add-on going onto that barracks. And at this point, has he pulled workers off gas, Sean? Or no, he's continuing to get some.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has left them on there. So any predictions on what he's going to be using this gas for?
Well, we see, oh my goodness,
Oh, he is going to do it.
2 additional barracks planted for Nexus 1. It looks like he might very well begin the Marauder production, or he could go for the very fast stim. Really get concussive shell first. That's very common to do. But as we see Nexus 1 teeter along that 50 mineral mark, we're seeing no concussive shell. And there's the fast stim. Oh no, Husky, it could be a very early bust-in attack.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the thing is he may be moving out right when that stim is completed. If you're wondering why he's not getting that Marauder slow first, he's going to be getting that upgrade. If he is expecting to do a timing attack here, which it absolutely looks like he is, he'll be getting that Marauder slow as he's moving out across the map. By the time he traverses that long territory, then he will have that upgrade as well as the stim pack. So he wants to make sure to get that stim pack much earlier, just because it takes forever, and he will be able to kind of turtle until these upgrades are completed. So we do have a gateway on the way now for Cicero. He's chrono boosting out a Stalker as well as his warp gate technology here. So it's going to come down to how many units essentially does he have, because he's not going to be expanding off of, I mean, he just took his natural, so he's not going to be taking a 3rd base here fairly soon. And is he going to be able to scout this? Right now it's going to be tough for Atos to get inside that base to see exactly what's coming.
And now it looks like Terran going into big macro mode, has 3 barracks, reactor, and 2 tech labs. Definitely wants to do a big attack early on. Now, most early expands are designed to be able to hold off these kinds of early pushes, but even then, it's very, very difficult. That is always the big struggle you have when you take that fast expansion. So we do see Cicero now going to try to poke up with that very fast Stalker. He's going to be very lucky to note that that concussive shell is not done, so he does manage to crawl away, taking no shield damage. For anyone wondering, these matches were pre-played. We are watching the replays of them right now, but you know what's going to be happening in the grand final, Husky.
It is going to be live, and there are super sexy boots sitting right next to me. I can't wait to get the players in there. But for now, Sean, what do you think his chances of holding this are? It's going to be a lot of units here, but at the same time, it looks like our Terran player is going to expand off of this once he decides to move out, and Gateway is not quite done yet, so it looks like to me, Sean, it's going to come down to force field, and if he can get them in the right spot.
There's about a 64.5% chance Protoss will be able to defend this, but Nexus 1 is hoping that that weighted coin lands on the right side today. Right now, his team, though, is up 2-0. Or in the past, when this was played, they were up 1-0 at this point in time.
Yeah, and that is starting to look like a lot of units there, and he is going to be expanding off of this. I wouldn't be surprised to see him push out at any moment. He's going to do that right now as those units have started moving out across the map. It does look like the watchtower has been secured by our Protoss player, so he knows what's headed there, was able to even back out that probe. That's even one more troop he can use if he is forced to pull off probe. But you got to remember right here that stim and concussive shells is done. He is now chrono boosting those warp gates. Is he going to have enough? A 4th warp gate now is just finishing up, so he may get one more wave of units. You got to remember, though, that Stalker's not the most effective against it. But here comes the attack. Stim has been used. The force fields do absolutely nothing as the army is now completely on top of this, and Stim is now ticking away, which just means these units are shooting so fast and can focus down any of these units that he wants to. Is going to get the pylon, but it is not going to go down here. The probes are going to be pulled off here, and he is going to stutter step here for just a little bit.
Got to be careful. He's been stimming a lot. If he runs out of health, he will definitely lose those units because that's how it was designed.
Good programming in StarCraft 2. No immortal units in this game, aside from the immortal, which is also not immortal. But regardless, Sean, we're going to traverse away from that and look at the expansion here as these pylons are going down. Now empowering the robotics. There's not going to be an immortal. And the pylon on the warp gate as well is turning.
Oh no, losing power on all of those buildings, and now Nexus 1, who's running dangerously low on the health of these units, needs to do the finishing blows, but the Stalkers now get taken out, and it looks like Cicero with the half-done immortal says, good game!
Yeah.
And Google sprints to a 3-0 lead.
3-0, Sean, and since it is going to be a best of 7, it is going to be a long battle for them to get back into this, but you know what, anything can happen in the AHGL. So we will see. But I just want to mention, I think a lot of it came down to those force fields. They just did not do a whole lot. They were just like trapping them in the base, but that was fine because there was enough units. They were fine. They were like having fun in there.
You know, that really is the most dangerous aspect about that early Protoss defense. You have to land those force fields down perfectly. If you can start getting them really, really spot on, and you start being like, hey, why don't you come at me, Terran? Yeah. You know, you use those as just force field fodder, per se. But if you just are off by a couple of inches, I mean, we've seen players like Huck, like MVP's genius, just lose games like that because it was 1 inch out of the way, and the Zerglings say, oh, I can just march right in here. Well, I mean, it's a single file line. I can deal with that.
They can be polite Zerglings.
Scoot right around and kill off everything you've built.
And that's what we saw there, Sean.
So that means that Google currently up 3-0 against Amazon. Might have a complete blowout match here.
Yeah, it could very well go 4-0. We did mix up the replays just a little bit, but that's fine, because now we're past that. And if people are just tuning in, they never know what happens.
That is right. We are here at the After Hours Gaming League.